Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on building patient trust online, how digital interactions shape patient perceptions. In today's digital world, the way patients interact with healthcare providers online, whether it's through reviews, responses, and even the tone of communication, it can make or break that patient trust. So, from the moment a patient searches for your practice to the time that they leave feedback after their visit with you, every online touchpoint influences how they perceive your care. So today, we'll explore how these digital interactions shape patient trust, what drives positive online experiences, and how healthcare organizations can use technology to build stronger, more authentic relationships with all of your patients. But before we do get started, just a quick reminder, feel free to submit your questions at any time using the Q&A option in Zoom. I'll address them at the end of the session. And if you do need to leave early, no worries. We'll make sure that you receive the recording and key takeaways after the webinar. But with that out of the way, let's get started. For those of you that I haven't met yet, my name is Oliver Blanco, and I'm excited to be your speaker today. As a digital marketing and account manager here at Repugen, I get to work closely with a lot of healthcare providers and practices across the nation, helping them just improve their online reviews and build stronger relationships with their own patients. What I enjoy most about these sessions is that I get an opportunity to also learn from you, whether you're already part of the Repugen family or just exploring what we have to offer. I'm looking forward to hearing your experiences, answering your questions, and just discovering how we can better support your practice's growth and patient engagement. And just as a quick agenda, here's what we'll be covering in today's session. First, we'll start with the digital trust landscape and AI's emerging role, uh, basically in exploring how technology and patient expectations are reshaping trust in healthcare. Then we'll discuss trust transfer from online to offline and how what patients see online directly impacts their decisions and in-person experiences. Next, we'll go through 6 strategies to build that digital trust, practical, proven approaches that your team can apply right away. After that, we'll look at understanding patient perception types so you can better identify and respond to different kinds of patient sentiments online. And then finally, we'll wrap up with some key takeaways and action steps to help you put these insights into practice, and then open up the floor for some Q&A at the very end. But by the end, hopefully you'll have a clear framework for strengthening patient trust at every digital touchpoint. So let's get started to our first topic. Uh, we're now living in what we would call the digital trust era. Patient expectations have evolved, and your digital presence has become the foundation of that trust. So it's no longer just about clinical expertise or in-person care. Patients today form opinions long before they even reach your office. And that's through what they see online, whether it's your reviews, how you respond to those reviews, just your overall online reputation, and how consistently your brand shows empathy and reliability online. So in short, your online behavior defines your credibility. That's why understanding how digital interactions shape trust is critical to connecting with today's patients. And the shift towards digital first healthcare experiences isn't just a trend, it's basically the new standard. According to some research that we conducted earlier this year and some data that we found from RxNT Healthcare Technology, we found that 81% of patients prefer using digital tools to manage their healthcare. 73% of people read online reviews to select a healthcare provider. 71% consider digital platforms as a key part of their selection process. And then 69% would even consider switching providers for a better online experience. These numbers just make one thing clear. Patients are no longer, again, just influenced by their in-office experience. They're guided by what they encounter online. So digital trust isn't just optional anymore. It's actually essential. And now let's talk about one of the biggest shifts shaping digital trust today, the AI revolution in healthcare. According to some research again that we did earlier this year, 17% of patients currently use AI tools when searching for healthcare providers. While that number might seem a little low today, it's growing rapidly. And as AI tools become more integrated into everyday life, this percentage is just going to rise significantly in the coming years. AI is just becoming an additional layer in the discovery process. Patients are now using ChatGPT, Gemini, or any other AI search tools and virtual assistants to find, compare, and evaluate providers before making a choice. This means that it's no longer just enough to optimize your Google search results. Your digital presence now needs to work for both that Google search result or traditional search and then AI-driven discovery. It's a clear sign that the way that patients build trust is evolving, and practices that adapt early will have a strong advantage in this new digital landscape. So just to get started, I am going to post up a little poll just to see where everyone stands right now when it comes to uh, how you would describe your current digital presence. So let me pull that up real quick. And then I'll give everyone about a minute or so to get this started or to put in their answers. All right. Thank you all for participating. I am just going to end that poll now. And then we'll just get going on to the next part, which will talk about trust transfer, how digital interactions extend beyond the screen and influence real world care experiences. Trust doesn't stay online. It follows patients from their first Google search to their first appointment and every interaction after that. So when a patient reads positive reviews, schedules easily online, and receives a quick response, they form expectations of reliability and the care that you offer. If your in-person experience meets or exceeds that expectation, trust just strengthens. But then if it falls short, the opposite happens. Digital trust breaks down fast. This connection between online and offline experience is what we call the trust transfer framework. So let's see how this works. And here's what that trust transfer journey would typically look like in healthcare. Stage one, patients begin with online research and reputation discovery, reading reviews, visiting your website, and just evaluating your overall online credibility. Then stage two, they move into digital interaction quality. So how well it or how easy it is for them to schedule appointments, whether it's using any digital portal that you offer or maybe calling in and communicating with your team. Then the stage three, trust then transfers to in-person care. So that's where expectations meet reality, where after they schedule that appointment, they go into your office and actually go through that appointment. Then stage four, finally, the offline experience. It either reinforces or damages that online trust. Each stage builds on the last. A strong digital reputation creates high expectations, and consistent follow through across all touch points converts the digital trust into long-term loyalty. So, though, what actually drives their transfer of trust from digital to in-person care? It starts with your doctor's online reputation and patient feedback, the very first impressions that most people see. Then comes the quality of your digital interactions, everything from appointment booking to how easy it is to reach your staff. As you might know, if something online is a little difficult to go through, whether it's just filling out a form or even calling in, there are quite a lot of people that, might end up leaving that website and going to a different one. So next up is positive online engagement, such as how you respond to online reviews and how you respond to messages online, as that just further strengthens patient trust. But just remember also, trust isn't static. It's dynamic and multi-stage, built over multiple touch points. If there's any misalignment through what's promised online and what patients experience offline, trust can disappear quickly. So consistency is the bridge that keeps online perception and real world care aligned. So now that we've covered how trust moves from online to offline, let's talk about how to build and strengthen it practically and strategically. We've identified 6 proven evidence-based strategies that transform your digital presence into a patient-trusted engine. Each one focuses on measurable actions you can implement immediately to improve transparency, reliability, and confidence across every digital touchpoint. So let's get started with strategy number 1. And that first one is in regards to patient portals and availability. According to recent data, nearly 53% of patients access their health information through portals every month. Portals are just not convenient tools. They represent that transparency between you and your patients and accessibility. When patients receive quick responses, it signals that their care team values communication and engagement. So some action items that you can take is implement a user-friendly patient portal that's simple to navigate. That's going to be a key. Then respond to patient inquiries within 24 hours, whenever possible. Again, to make sure that your patients know that you actually care about their questions. Then ensure health records are easily accessible. It builds that patient trust and confidence and saves time for both of you. Maybe they had a quick question about one piece of their own health, but it was already stated in a document that they had that you provided to them. Just giving them that ease of access to their patient or health information will make it that much easier and transparent between the both of you. Then the next strategy is to secure digital platforms. It focuses on what is the heart of patient trust, and that is digital security. In the past year alone, over 60 million healthcare records were affected by security breaches. That's why patients today are more cautious and privacy aware than ever before. Security isn't just a compliance checkbox. It's basically a statement of commitment to protecting your patients. So here's what to do. Use HIPAA compliant platforms for all patient communications. Clearly communicate your security measures. Patient trust what they can understand. And then conduct regular audits and updates to keep your systems secure and reliable. When patients know that their data is safe, they're far more likely to stay loyal with your practice. Then our third strategy is more about one of the more powerful drivers of digital trust, and that's in regards to online reviews and reputation. And here's what the numbers show again. 73% of patients read online reviews before choosing a provider, and 75% say online reviews are the first step in the decision-making process. That means your reputation often speaks before you do. So some action items here is to actively monitor and respond to reviews across all of your major online platforms such as Google, Healthgrades, WebMD, Facebook, you name it. Next is to encourage satisfied patients to share their experiences as it builds authenticity and trust. Basically, if you get your satisfied patients to leave an online review, they're more likely to leave that positive online review for you after their appointment. And then always respond to every review professionally, even if it is criticism. It shows accountability and empathy and shows even prospective patients that you do take things seriously and will hopefully make them more likely to choose you because of how transparent your interactions are with your patients. And so when managed right, your online reputation just becomes a trust building asset, not a risk. So that actually brings up the next poll is how actively does your healthcare organization currently manage their online reviews? And so I will get that started and then have it up for about a minute. All right. Thank you, everyone, for participating. Your answers will just help us understand how healthcare organizations like yours are handling reputation management and where there's room to make any improvements or make it even more efficient. But moving on, we are going to go on our fourth strategy, which is a strong online presence, which is now just one of the most important trust drivers in healthcare. To patients, your online presence is your digital front door, often their first impression of your practice. Maybe something like a business card or a resume when it comes to physical items. Though some essential components include an informative, user-friendly website that's easy to navigate, active, engaging social media profiles that show your practice's personality online, uh, regularly updated content and blogs that educate and build credibility, and then structured data and that AI can easily understand to make your practice discoverable in both traditional and AI-driven searches. So why does this work? A strong online presence showcases your expertise, builds authority, and provides value beyond the appointment. It ensures patients and even AI tools see you as a trusted, accessible source of care. Next up is to monitor your online listings. Listings or online profiles are just often the first touch point patients encounter, even small. So even small inconsistencies can just break that trust. And so why does this matter? AI tools rely heavily on listings data to recommend providers, and then inaccurate or outdated details can just confuse patients and damage credibility. An example of this would be that, say, I was to look up a practice and see if they were open between the hours of 8 to 5 p.m. On their Google business profile. But I see that they are, so I drive over, but then I see that they're actually closed and it's only 4 p.m. That would ruin that patient's experience and make me want to go somewhere else. And some other reasons as to why it matters. Again, AI tools just rely heavily on listings data providers, and inaccurate or outdated details can just confuse patients, just like that story. So some action items to stay ahead is to audit all of your listings at least once every quarter of the year. Ensure your name, address, and phone number are consistent across every platform. Just to touch on briefly, name, address, and phone number or NAP information is one of the major things that both Google, Yahoo, Bing, and even search engine or AI engines like ChatGPT, Gemini, they all look at NAP information to see if you are legitimate. And if they are correct, then they are more likely to boost you up on search results. And then lastly, you'll also want to make sure your hours, services, and provider information are up to date, and then claim and optimize all of your directory profiles for maximum visibility. But overall, accurate listings may seem basic, but they're just a cornerstone of that digital trust and patient confidence. And then lastly, our sixth strategy is about creating a seamless digital journey that meets patient expectations from start to finish. And here's what patients want: easy online appointment scheduling, smooth telehealth access, simple, intuitive navigation across all digital services, and then a mobile-friendly experience that works anytime, anywhere. So some action steps to achieve this is to map out your complete patient digital journey, identify and then eliminate any friction points or confusing steps. Then you'll also want to test your user experience regularly to make sure that everything actually flows naturally. And then prioritize mobile optimization, just because a lot of patients, uh, I believe research shows that about 69% of patients say that they switch providers for a better online experience, and how people access the internet nowadays is primarily through their smartphones. And so with or when every digital interaction feels just effortless to them, patients actually feel valued and they're easily able to make appointments with you. And that's how long-term trust is even built. So now that we've covered the key strategies for building trust, let's shift the focus to the people behind those interactions, your patients. Not all patients approach digital healthcare in the same way. Their comfort levels, expectations, and perceptions of technology vary widely. So, to truly strengthen digital trust, it is important to recognize these differences. And let's talk about the three main patient personas that define today's digital audience. So, according to our analysis, patients generally fall into one of three categories. First off are the digital champions. About 35% of patients fall in here. These are going to be your tech-savvy patients. They're highly familiar with digital tools, have a positive perception, and typically visit your practice 2 to 4 times a year. They're basically already comfortable and confident in using technology in healthcare. Then about 42% are willing learners. This is the largest group. They have low familiarity, but a positive perception. They're open to digital tools, but often need guidance and reassurance along the way. And lastly, at about 23%, you have the skeptics. These are or they're experienced users, but their perception is neutral or even negative, often due to frustration with poor design or past digital experiences with others. So understanding where your patients fall helps you tailor your communication and support to build trust more effectively. So to build meaningful digital relationships, you'll want to meet each patient group where they are. For digital champions, often offer advanced features like AI chat assistants or digital self check-ins. They'll encourage them to become advocates by sharing feedback and reviews. Then for the willing learners, provide tutorials, quick start guides, and personal support to help them feel confident in using those digital tools. It helps keep the experience simple and friendly. And then for the skeptics, focus on improving the usability of your platforms, addressing pain points, and showing tangible value. Demonstrate that digital tools actually enhance, not complicate their healthcare. So when each patient type feels understood and supported, digital trust goes naturally across your or grows naturally across your entire practice. And so now that we've talked about the different personas, let's talk about how to build digital trust and sustain it through a step-by-step process. Think of this as a four-stage foundation for digital trust. The first off is to, again, evaluate your online listings and response rates. Start by ensuring your digital information is just accurate and consistent across all platforms. Then assess patient portal usability and security. A smooth and safe user experience builds confidence and uh, at a high rate. Then you'll want to gather patient feedback specifically on their digital interactions. So things like booking, communication, and even virtual visits, as it'll give you the feedback, which is actually step four, establish a system for online patient feedback. So you're continuously listening, learning, and improving all of your processes across your practice. But each stage does build on the last, creating a cycle of improvement that keeps your digital presence trusted, transparent, and patient-focused. And of course, you'll want to measure everything. So let's talk about how to measure progress as you strengthen your digital trust ecosystem. And some key metrics are portal adaptation and active usage rates. Are patients actually using your online tools? Then review volume, ratings, and sentiment trends. Is feedback improving over time? Then you'll want to see online appointment booking percentages. How many people are actually booking digitally? Patient satisfaction scores are next, focus as they focus on the digital experience overall. Then response times to messages, reviews, and inquiries. It helps you understand if you are actually listening to your patients. And then website traffic and engagement analytics. Do patients stay, explore, and take action on your website? Tracking these sorts of key performance indicators not only measure performance, but also helps you identify what's working or what improvements might need to be made at your practice. And so to see these strategies in action, let's take a look at an example of how a healthcare organization improved patient trust and care consistency through structured digital review management. Our case study focuses on one of our clients, Memorial Care Medical Group, which is a multi-clinic organization that just wanted to better manage patient feedback across multiple locations. And as you can see, or to start off, I guess, they face a common challenge across, or similar to what a lot of people do see, reviews scattered across multiple platforms and locations with no way to monitor or respond. So here's what happened once they implemented some sort of process, which was here through Repigen. They were able to get a centralized dashboard to manage all of their locations in one place. Then they were able to automate review requests and alerts, reducing any manual effort. Then they achieved nearly a 250% increase in total reviews and feedback since then. They saw patient satisfaction rise by nearly 26% and reduced negative sentiment by nearly 70% as well, and just complaint resolution time in half, showing patients they were heard and valued. So this transformation wasn't just about handling reviews, it was about building a system that just nurtures patient trust and evaluates care quality. So now, just to touch up a little bit on ourselves, Repligen is just built to help healthcare organizations like yours create, maintain trust online effortlessly and at scale. So here's how you get a unified dashboard, monitor reviews and patient feedback across all locations, all in one place. Then you have smart alerts and AI-powered responses so that you can stay responsive and compliant while saving time. Then you'll get real-time insights, so you can track trends in satisfaction, sentiment, and reputation to make improved or informed improvements. Then you'll have consistency across locations so that you can maintain your brand's voice and reliability. You'll also be able to see some scalable growth. So as you add more locations or providers, you'll be able to make sure that Repligen grows with you. And then you'll also be able to implement a feedback to action loop. So automatically turn patient feedback into actionable improvements that enhance both digital and in-person care. And so that is everything that I did want to cover today. So here are just some of the key takeaways. Digital trust is essential, not optional. Next up is trust transfers both ways, from online experiences to offline care and back again. Thirdly is security and responsiveness form the foundation of patient confidence. Next, you have reviews shape first impressions, as 73% of patients consider them before booking an appointment. And you'll have different patients that need different approaches. So you'll want to tailor engagement based on their digital comfort. Next up is modern engagement, helps build online digital adoption. And then lastly is seamless digital experiences prevent patient frustration and provider switching. So with these insights, your practice can confidently design a digital presence that builds trust, consistency, and long-term loyalty. So now with that out of the way, I will open the floor to some Q&A time, which looks like we do already have some questions in the chat. So let me take a look. All right, so some of the questions that we got is the first one that I'll go on is how have patient expectations around healthcare changed in the digital era? So good question. So patients' expectations have evolved beyond just clinical expertise and in-person care. A lot of people form opinions about a provider just long before they even go in and visit the office. It's honestly based on online reviews, responses, website content, and the overall tone of communication online. So a provider's digital presence is now the foundation of their trust that they have with patients and just really influences their decision on whether or not they would choose you for their healthcare needs. Oh, next question is, how is AI changing the way patients discover and trust healthcare providers? So very good question because AI is such a growing thing. It's critical. It's honestly a critical part of how patients search for, evaluate, and just overall choose healthcare providers. So we did do a study earlier this year where we found that about 70 or 17% of patients use AI tools like ChatGPT or virtual assistants during their search. And that number is honestly expected to rise rapidly. I believe we conducted that search early this year, so somewhere around January or so. But over the course of this year, so many AI has just grown exponentially. So you'll want to implement some AI strategies into your practice and make sure that you are optimized for it as well. Next up is a question. What impact does a strong online presence have on patient trust? And so a strong online presence is just often their patient's first interaction with a healthcare provider. So it's like that business card or that digital front door. So an engaging, informative website, active social media, and regularly updating educational content on your platforms can help establish credibility and authority. And a well-structured data just ensures your practice is easily found online, whether it's through Google or ChatGPT or anything online. So together, these elements just build trust before a patient ever steps into your office and positions you as a leader and a reliable source of healthcare. Another question is, why is monitoring online listings so important? That's another good question. So online listings are just often that first point of contact patients have with a healthcare provider. So for example, if I was to look up uh, best dentist near me, a Google listing might pop up. So, and from there, that is what an online listing is considered. So having any inaccurate or inconsistent details, such as business hours or phone numbers or even addresses on those online listings can break that trust and create confusion. Uh, Additionally, AI tools rely heavily on listings data when recommending providers, as does Google. So regularly auditing your listings, keeping your NAP information or name, address, phone number consistent, and updating service details across all those profiles just ensures patients have accurate, reliable information and just strengthens your digital credibility for all search engines and AI tools out there. All right, and I'll take one more question. Why is it important to manage online reviews and reputation actively? And the reason being is because they're, again, often one of the first impressions patients have of a healthcare provider. Some of the research that we've done shows that 73% of patients read reviews before choosing a provider, and then I believe it's 75%, use them as the first step in their decision-making process. So by actively monitoring and responding to reviews, both positive and negative, practices can just demonstrate accountability, empathy, and even transparency, which significantly just builds your patient trust. And so that is going to be all of the questions I will be answering for today. If there are any more, feel free to shoot us an email and we'll be happy to get to it. And so just want to touch up on what comes next. As you can implement some of these things to get you started on improving your practice. So this week, audit your online presence across all major platforms, check review response rates and sentiment, and test your patient portal's user experience from a patient point of view. And then for this month, you'll want to verify your security protocols are clearly communicated to patients, survey patients about their digital preferences and challenges, identify and fix the top 3 friction points in the digital journey, and ensure your NAP information is correct. And then a little bit later, you'll also want to develop a comprehensive digital trust strategy, segment your patients by their digital perception clusters, launch or refine your reputation management program, and then prepare your practice for AI-driven healthcare discovery. And that is officially everything that I wanted to cover. So thank you so much for being here today. Your time and feedback are what make these sessions very valuable. So truly thank you for attending today. We'll be sending everyone a recording of the session and the resources we discussed so you can review them and share them with your team. We are looking forward to seeing what you do next and building a future of patient feedback together. So if you do have any questions, feel free to contact us with the information on the screen. And I just hope all of you have a wonderful rest of your day.